Hi, everyone. My name is Nikos, and I'm the Senior Vice President of Software Platform in Woven Planet, a company that is a subsidiary of Toyota based in Tokyo. I'm excited to be here this year and talk about mobility, and in particular, how we make mobility easier to program. First, I will walk you through our company's strategy, then the project that my team is working on that we call Arin, on how do we make mobility easier to program, and then the business opportunities that we can open up in the future. Now, personally, I was born in Greece, but I don't like coffee. I moved to the United States to study electrical engineering and computer science, and after that, I moved to New York to work in a series of startups, all the way from online advertising to education technology to cloud. And at that time, I also created an initiative to teach kids about computer science and engineering called Dr. Technico. Now, one of the startups in big data had me move to Silicon Valley. And after that, I joined Netflix to work on the cloud platform and build tools for developers. At that time, Toyota was creating a new initiative to transform itself into a software and AI company through robotics, through autonomous driving, and big data. I found that to be a unique lifetime opportunity to come and transform such a large company into the future. And so I joined the Toyota Research Institute in Silicon Valley. And then one day I woke up in Tokyo in Woven Planet. So what is Woven Planet? So Woven Planet is about mobility to love and safety to live. What this means is that every employee in Woven Planet is thinking every day on how our products can make people happier and live also safer lives. So we're split in two companies that are focusing on technology and one company that is focusing on investment. On the technology side, we have Woven Alpha, which is doing innovation projects, such as the thing that my team is working on. And then we have Woven Core, which is building relationships with automotive makers and suppliers to provide automated driving and new electronic platforms for vehicles. On the Woven Capital side, we're building partnerships with startups and with large organizations as well through investments or collaborations. So this year alone, we invested in large names like Neuro or RightCell or 2150 and UP Partners. However, business and technology alone is not going to build us mobility. If we think of mobility, it is in the intersection between the automotive classical thinking and the modern thinking of software, like the web and the mobile internet. So the skills that we need to build mobility actually don't currently exist. And I know from experience because it's very hard to hire those skills. So what Woven is trying to do is build a culture where we merge Japanese craftsmanship with the Silicon Valley innovation mindset. And that's how we're making teams that have mixed skill sets to learn from each other. Not only that, we've also created the dojo in Woven so that we can actually train employees into this new mobility skill set. First, we have classes to teach the mindset of a 10x engineer in Silicon Valley, or how to write good software that's scalable and modern, and also how to speak English, the universal technology language, so we can easily collaborate across the world. And the reality is that this year, Woven Planet grew immensely, especially in the United States, through probably you've heard in the news, mergers and acquisitions and new hiring. And the thing is that I know because the IT and the security teams reporting to me are complaining every day on how many new laptops they have to set up every day. Now, all of this software that's going to power the future of mobility, who is going to write that? Developers, of course, right? And we want to make sure developers are happy. So we need to give them the right tools, the right platform to be able to innovate. And that's what Arin is about. we want to enable the most programmable vehicles on the planet. And we want to do that by A, simplifying software development, then increasing deployment frequency so that we can update code in the vehicle seamlessly. And we want to do this without compromising safety. So if we do that, we believe we can open vehicle programming to everyone. Now, today, vehicle software is similar to how the mobile phones were about 10 to 15 years ago. In the past, only a phone maker could actually program their phones. And you were lucky if you had an application that is like a calculator, not just SMS in your phone, right? But today, everyone can program smartphones. We have thousands of applications and thousands of developers jumping into this platform and creating new ideas. And what happened is this created more interest from investors to invest in those ideas that could become profitable. And after investors and VCs started throwing money, then guess what? We had more developers joining that platform and building more ideas, and therefore creating a nice positive cycle, so growing the mobile ecosystem. So we believe that while today only an automaker can program their car, everyone should be able to program a vehicle of the future. So what is Arin? Essentially, it's an open development platform where we provide cloud-based tools and SDKs to developers. We also provide uniform vehicle APIs so that you can access the vehicle's functionalities. And then we want to merge that with safety building blocks and validation checks for developers to lower the barrier to entry and make it easier for them to write applications. So what is key here is the development lifecycle of software that's going to the vehicle. This is a key metric for the Arin team to reduce, to simplify, and to make it safer. Every day we're working on building this technology to make it easier and easier for developers across the world. So you can go from your concept to writing your code, to using testing tools, including simulation, and then to go deploy your vehicle through, your code to a vehicle through OTA and have it be portable across multiple models of vehicles. Now, of course, the tools are not enough, right? Because we have to rethink the vehicle as well. Today's vehicles are very much different separate domains where they focus on the computing, solving a problem like how my cabin is going to look like, or how can I drive the car, or my body control electronics. So each computer is specialized to do a particular function. In our world, and in the world of mobility, the vehicle should look like a single interface. And so it's important for us to put focus on what we call the Arin OS so that we can have applications target the compute as a whole. Then we can think of things like safety or non-safety critical code, and we can deploy them in the right level of hardware that provides these functionalities. Now, if we are successful and we do our job right, I believe there's going to be a huge impact in the industry with something like Arin, right? So first of all, I would like to see in 5 to 10 years from now, people putting in their resumes the title vehicle app developer. The same way today we have people saying I'm a web app developer or I'm a mobile app developer. Second, I believe we will lower the barrier to entry for mobility entrepreneurs. So if you think today, the vehicle is not really an open platform, right? So let's say a startup raises a Series A, most of that money is going to go to hire engineers to hack the car just to get started. So with something like Arin, we hope to just give you an SDK, and then off you go and you program the car. Now, at the same time, the OEMs are going to see a big investment paying off for them because it's going to be easier to integrate all the hardware and all the software in the vehicle, and we believe it will lower the costs for them to produce vehicles. And at the same time, when you have the ability to update software in the vehicle itself will have a higher lifetime value for the customer. Now, we are also thinking about new business opportunities because a platform like this and with a massive community that we hope to build, is going to have a large impact, and some ideas that we are thinking about in the future that I would like to share here for you to think about and be creative. So first of all, obviously, you're going to have applications in the vehicle, so potentially you can monetize those applications. But more than just being a device, the vehicle, we can think about it also being like almost like a living room space. So you can actually have shared services and vehicles being shared among individuals in a future where we have a mobility ecosystem. So you can actually personalize the vehicle every time you enter a new vehicle and keep your settings, keep your profile, and make sure all your applications are loaded and all your configurations are loaded. Then we can think about fleet branding. So think about brick and mortar businesses in the past. When the internet came out, first they were very skeptical. It's like, oh, I'm a store. Why do I need to have an internet presence? And then all of a sudden, everybody now has a URL to go to, right? So they had to build their web presence when the web became popular. And guess what? When the mobile web came up, everybody was trying to build apps to sell their business through the mobile web. And then social media happened, and everybody built a social media presence, right? So I expect in the future for us to see also a presence in mobility. So if we think of a hotel chain, for example, then the hotel chain could hire a fleet of vehicles and pick you up from the airport, and you can do your check-in over there. Maybe you get a glass of champagne on the way to the hotel. How about distributed applications, right? Imagine we have all these vehicles running this powerful compute at the edge with all these sensors. I think we can also build some nice applications that leverage the power of data and how we can even process it even inside the vehicle. An obvious application here would be some sophisticated maps that we can collect data and compute and build and update maps in a live fashion. And so more of that could be possible when we actually compute data inside the vehicle and also aggregate filtered data into the cloud. And finally, I'm actually looking forward to that one. Now, it's the ability to add hardware to the vehicle that we couldn't do before because the pricing was not affordable. So if we have a community of developers building applications on top of novel hardware, then what we can have is actually more sophisticated and expensive hardware priced into the vehicle itself. My personal favorite is a massage chair, and I can't wait for someone here to actually build that application. So all of these ideas that I've shared earlier, some of them may succeed, some of them may fail. We don't know. That's the life of an entrepreneur, right? The life of a startup. The point I'm trying to make is that if we do not make it easier to program vehicles, we will not allow ourselves to have the opportunity to run all these experiments over and over and make it easier, lower cost to run experiments and play with these ideas and actually allow the ecosystem to grow. And so at the Woven Planet, we would love to see a larger mobility ecosystem, and we would love to work with as many of you as possible to achieve this. And with that, I'd like to thank you very much.